What we're going to do is we're going to determine whether each pair of functions are inverse functions. For example, we have number 5. We have 5x minus 5 is for f of x. And for g of x, we have 1/5 x plus 1. We have to recall that in order for them to be an inverse of each other, we need to know that the composition of g of f of x is equal to x, and f of g of x is equal to x. In other words, we have to input each of the following functions into the other function, and it has to come out to be x. So let's start off with doing f of g of x. So we have f of 1/5 x plus 1. And we notice that function f is going to be 5 times x, and in this case, it's 1/5 x plus 1 minus 5. So we go ahead and apply the distributor property. 5 times 1/5 x, which gives us x, and then 5 times 1, which gives us 5. And we have 5 minus 5, which gives us x. So therefore, f of g of x will give us x. Now we have to determine g of f of x. So now we're going to input f of x into g. So f of x is 5x minus 5. Therefore, we have 1/5, open parentheses, times x. So in this case, it's 5x minus 5 plus 1. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and simplify by applying the distributor property. 1/5 times 5x gives you x, and 1/5 times negative 5 gives you minus 1 plus 1. And when we simplify negative 1 plus 1, we get x. So you notice that f of g of x will yield an x, and we know that g of f of x will also give us an x. So that means that these two functions are indeed an inverse of each other. If we look at 7 states if f of x equals 3x, and g of x is equal to x plus 4, and h of x is equal to x squared minus 1, then we have to find the following composition. For example, we have g, and our input is h of negative 2. Therefore, we have to find h of negative 2 first, and whatever the output is, it goes back into g. So we have h of negative 2, and we're going to look at this equation that's up here, and we're going to input negative 2. So we have negative 2 squared minus 1. We know that negative 2 to the second power is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. Now, 3 is going to be the input for g. So if you look at equation g, we have x plus 4. So what we're going to have is we're going to have 3 plus 4, which is 7. So the output for g of h of negative 2 is 7.